That's how y'all is. Come on in. Peace, peace. Y'all let me know how to sound, how it sound. Perfect. I appreciate that. Yeah, I thought I'd give y'all the blues on this Friday. So I know about the blues. Peace, peace, y'all. Y'all come on in, come on in. Oh, shit. Peace, y'all. Y'all come on in. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about this solar eclipse. Definitely want to talk about this solar eclipse today. I feel like that's a conversation that we need to have, especially with all the, the fear monger that's surrounding it, you know. So y'all go ahead, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know y'all in here. Everybody's welcome. Definitely want to talk about this solar eclipse. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here, but we just go let spirit guide and spirit lead us as always. No, I ain't see any of that in there. No, I didn't see that in there. Peace, y'all. Y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. We definitely finna get into it, though. Definitely finna get into it. And if y'all hear music in the background or anything in the background, that's my mama. Come on in, y'all. But yeah, like I said, I definitely want to talk about this solar eclipse. You know, as of lately, I've been noticing that there's a lot of fear monger when it comes to the solar eclipse, right? I've been seeing a lot of spiritualists, a lot of so-called, sidekicks. So, whatever the case may be, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about the solar eclipse. Astrologists. You know what I mean? Peace. Ashe. Welcome. Definitely a pleasure to be speaking with y'all right now. I definitely wanted to get on here and talk about this solar eclipse and just kind of give y'all insight on what I believe we all should be focusing on right now. You know, like I said, there are a lot of there's a lot of fear monger when it comes to this solar eclipse. You know, because in which I understand, because the veil is so thin now. The veil is so thin now that on this particular day, mind you, we just had a portal yesterday. You know, yesterday the date was 4/4/2024. So that within itself is a portal, right? So that's just to usher in a certain type of energy. You know what I mean? And with the veil being so thin, you know, you can say that there's gonna be both positive and negative entities coming through. You know, energy coming through. You know, just like with everything else. You know what I mean? But I just feel as though that people are creating too much fear monger to the point to where, you know, we're gonna miss out on activation being activated during that time because we're afraid of, because we're in fear of this so-called solar eclipse. You know, definitely wanted to get on here and talk about that. You know, and I just feel as though that we should be tapping into something that our ancestors tapped into, you know, tapping into something that, you know, our ancient forefathers, you know, and foremothers tapped into during this time. You know what I mean? Shadow work obviously needs to be done. You know what I mean? Shadow work definitely needs to be done during this time. Shadow work especially needs to be done during this time, you know? And that's what I feel. And like I said, feel free to chime in, like, you know, in the comments. Feel free to chime in. You know, right now, you know, I'm in Texas right now, so a lot of people have been talking about how basically there's gonna be martial law, something like that going on, something about um, I don't know. It's like all of this, and something about some girl going missing. I don't know. It's just a bunch of fear mongering. It's just like I predicted this last year in 2023, right? I felt this coming last year with the fact that there's going to be a lot of fear monger within the year of 2024. You know what I mean? Because this year is such a powerful year. So I'm not surprised that an eclipse of this caliber, an eclipse of this caliber. Exactly. Yes, shadow work is extremely important right now. Shadow work is extremely important right now. And it's like, I'm talking about, you know, my shadow work has been so intense. It almost feels like I'm having a therapy session with my inner child. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, the shadow work is going to be so intense, and I feel as though that a lot of us are going to be in shifted into new realities. You know what I mean? We're going to be shifted into new realities. We just have to know exactly what to do. Yup. Exactly. Year of karma. Exactly. Yup. And something that a lot of people aren't talking about is both good karma and bad karma. You know, within my readings, I talk about that a lot. You know, a lot of people, you know, have to understand that. Exactly. Yup. It's definitely therapy. It's definitely therapeutic. You know, a lot of people need to understand that. And I may even pull some cards today. Like, who knows? I may even set up and pull some cards today. And if you guys want to do live readings, I mean, you know, we can do that too. Um, so yeah, I just feel as though with that veil being so thin, and just so, you know, with this eclipse being so powerful and at that caliber, they have to create fear monger. They have to create a sense of fear within people who are divine, individuals who are divine, you know, and who are closer to God than anybody else. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of us, there's a lot of us who were from birth chosen for this walk, chosen for this path. You know, so they have to make us afraid. They have to make us fearful. You know, Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic talked about those archons. You know, it's those archons who put us in that space of fear, you know, from an early age, you know, from an early age. And a lot of us didn't tap into those gifts and tap into that divinity until later on in life, but it's always been there. You know, it's always been there. And if you in the South right now, Like right now, just recently, they just had an earthquake up north. But right now in the south, if you in the south, you feel it. You know what I'm talking about? Like you feel that energy. Like you feel the energy. So it's so powerful and radiant. Like you can feel that. You can feel it. You can step outside and feel it. You know, like the sun is hotter than it usually was. Like the sun is way hotter than it usually was. You know. So yeah, this is definitely the year of karma, the year of the dragon. You know what I mean? Bringing in abundance, prosperity. You know what I mean? Infinite abundance, infinite prosperity. You know what I mean? Infinite. It's infinite. You turn that 8 sideways, it's infinity. It's infinite. You know? So yeah, spiritual protection, exactly. Spiritual protection. You know, I stay protected. I got my tiger's eye, got my ankh. Yeah, it's like certain people, you know, religious people, other spiritualists, whatever the case may be, whatever title they want to call, you know, go by, you know, have been, you know, talking about, and like I try not to pay attention to too many people myself. You know what I'm saying? I try not to pay attention to too many people myself, because you know the truth, it starts to get a little murky. You know what I mean? And I'm not the end all be all of the truth. You know, there's a bunch of people on social media right now that's speaking truth. You know, I just feel as though that, you know, if you are gonna be in an area to where you're able to see the eclipse, or the eclipse is gonna be like right now, like I said, I'm in Texas. I know that there's gonna be a lot of chaos. There's gonna be a lot of chaos next week when that eclipse hits. You get what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it like, okay, I know that I have to always be spiritually protected. I know that I have to be exactly moon day, right? So I know that I have to be spiritually protected, and I know that I have to consecrate and bless myself with the how can I put it, with the shield of protection around myself. You know what I mean? So it's like, I welcome, me personally, I welcome chaos, because with chaos and destruction, there's change. You know, this is what this is what Shiva, this is what Shiva is about. This is what Shiva, Shakti, Kali Ma, Oya, you know, that chaos, it brings about change. You know what I mean? It brings about change. It brings about a shift. So that chaos is necessary, because right now we're purging. Again, especially in the South. Especially in the South, we're purging, you know, on an inner level, and in an external on an external excuse me, on an external. See, yeah, spirit protecting me. Somebody don't want me to get this message out, but it's all good though. I'm gonna get it out. I'm gonna get it out. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, it's about exactly. You hear, look at the media. You know, look at the media. Look at what's going on social media. People are wilding right now. It's a bunch of chaos. It's a bunch of chaos. You know, it's a bunch of chaos. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of it. And again, like I said, I welcome that. You know what I mean? Shiva is one of the spirits that walk with me. Shiva is one of the energies, one of the deities and the gods that walk with me. You know what I'm saying? This entity has come to me in visions, dreams. You know what I mean? Kali Ma has come to me in visions, dreams. Like these entities, we are the gods. We are the goddesses. You get what I'm saying? Both masculine and feminine. We are the gods. We are the goddesses. You know, so it's like we have to activate that during this time. We have to activate that. So from Monday to Friday, we have to be activated. We have to be activated, you know. And that's why I spoke about in my last live about death and rebirth. You know, that doing that shadow work and killing off certain aspects of self, but also rebirthing aspects of self. You get what I'm saying? Also rebirthing certain aspects of self. Like you literally have to become the phoenix. Like you have to be, you have to become like the phoenix. You know, you have to kill off an aspect of your ego in order to rebirth an aspect of your ego. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. Then you have the Mercury retrograde, and that's another thing too. Like, man, like we really should be tapping into our charts too. You know, I'm still learning more about astrology. You know, I haven't mastered it yet, but you know, knowing those placements and knowing your Mercury placements, knowing your Jupiter placements, and you know your moon sign, all of things of that nature, like basic stuff. Knowing those that basic information, that's where your protection is. Yep. That's where your protection is. That's exactly where your protection is. So now you absolutely right about the Mercury retrograde. Like it really doesn't make it any better. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's all about transformation. It's all about renewal. You know what I mean? Rebirthing. You know, to bring in to usher in that abundance and that prosperity. You know what I mean? So like I said, the powers that be, they have to create this fearmonger so that we won't be activated. They have to create this. They have to create this fearmonger so that we won't tap into that goddesshood, that godhood. You know, that divinity, that alpha, that omega. Like we won't, so that we won't tap into that. So that we won't tap in. So we won't tap into that energy. You know what I mean? Like right now, we need to be tapping into. We need to be tapping into like the Hindu gods and goddesses. Like I said, with Shiva, with Shakti. You know what I mean? Like knowing that right Vedic astrology. Right, exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's way more accurate. It really is. It's definitely a lot more accurate. So right now, what I believe, me personally, what I believe that we should be tapping into right now, and this is a download that I received from Spirit, right? I believe that we should be tapping into the Akashic records. We should be tapping into the Akashic records right now. A lot of us have began that, but it's barely scratching the surface. Like it's only scratching the surface of it. I feel as though that a lot of us should be tapping into that energy to where you're able to go into your past life, to go into a reality to where, because that Akashic record, that's where the past, the present, the future, that's where that library is at within our subconscious mind. We have to tap into that. And again, going back to astrology, that's where knowing your moon sign comes in at. That's where knowing your north node and your south node, things of that nature. That's where that comes in at. You know what I mean? So, tapping into the Akashic records, with both the conscious and the subconscious mind, tapping into that library. I feel as though that we should be not only doing shadow work, but also tapping into Akashic records right now. Definitely should be tapping into Akashic records right now. You know, peace, 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 peace. It's a pleasure to have y'all here, though. Seriously, it truly is. I'm definitely grateful to be doing this. Definitely grateful to be doing this work because at the end of the day, it's all about getting the truth and having that conversation. Yep, it's definitely a shift in energy. It's definitely a shift in energy, and I feel like we definitely should be tapping into that. You know what I mean? Because your protection, people don't understand. Like your shadow work is just you're using that shadow self. You're using that shadow self as me and Band Cloud, we talked about this, man. Y'all go rock with Band Cloud. We be doing some dope. We do some dope live streams, on his channel. So y'all go rock with Band Club. We talked about shadow working and understanding the shadow self. And I really like how he put it. Basically talking about how when you're doing that shadow work, you're just updating your wardrobe. And I would have to agree with that, because me personally, I look at the shadow self as you're using that shadow self as a form of protection. Your shadow self is to protect your inner child. Your shadow self is to protect your inner child. You know what I mean? Think about having, and I know a lot of y'all may have kids. Think about how, how protective you are of your child. Think about how protective you are of your child, and how much security you have over your child. It's the same thing with with your inner child and your inner shadow self. The shadow self is almost as a parent, almost acts as a parent to your shadow self almost acts as a parent to your inner child. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah, you're just updating your wardrobe. That's really all it is. You know, and the deeper you go, you start to shed that old, you start to shed that old skin. You know what I'm saying? You start to shed that old skin. And like I said, y'all, I'm just letting spirit speak through me. I hope I'm not talking in circles. You know what I mean? Chinese, yeah, Chinese astrology. That's really powerful as well. And it's crazy that you bring it up. And I have been noticing that a lot of us have been tapping into Chinese astrology. You know, I was born in the year of the tiger. You know what I mean? That's why the tiger's eye, it spoke to me on my birthday. It spoke to me, you know? So we really need to understand that as well. Like, that's really powerful to understand. That's such a powerful, such a powerful energy to be in when you learning that ancient information, you know, and when you knowing that ancient information. So yeah, definitely tapping into the Akashic records, you know, and going within, because that's the only way to get to truth. Is to go within. The only reason I'm able to get on here and do this is the only reason I'm able to get on here and do this is because I'm able to go within a second. Within a second, I can go within and speak to my spirit team and speak to my spiritual council. You get what I'm saying? And let them guide me to the Akashic records. You know, a lot of us are have clairvoyance and don't even know it. Clairaudience and don't even know it. Clairsentient and don't even know it. We're empaths and don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? We don't even understand that. We don't understand that from birth we were given these gifts. If you would have told me that I would be doing readings and that I would have clairvoyance at 14, 15, you know what I mean, 16 years old, I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have believed you. You know what I mean? So we definitely should really tap into that. And one powerful way to tap into your Akashic records, right, is through the dream state. And understanding that, because also this is where astral projection comes into play, right? Astral projection. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you tapping into astral projection, you know, you understanding that you're going into different realities in that dream state. You know, again, they try to create and try to turn certain things into something demonic. You know, me and my girl, we watched Insidious. Y'all go check out Insidious. You know, they try to turn it into a horror movie, but that movie is so powerful. That movie is so powerful. Understanding that we all have been astral traveling since we were children, since we were kids. And we were made to feel like we were insane or we were going insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've tapped into so many different versions of myself, my younger self, hundreds of my past lives, hundreds of my multiple versions of my younger self, from a child to a teenager. Tapping into myself, my higher self. You know what I mean? Like, I've tapped into so many different versions of myself in different realities that, like, I had to really start journaling, either journaling or sharing them with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, somebody close that I can trust with that. You know what I mean? Because, like, when you tapping into that, you really need to understand what that's about. You really need to understand that why you're having that, why you're in that reality, and what lesson is there to understand, what lessons is there to learn. You know, y'all come on in. Y'all come on in. We having a dope conversation. I'm really enjoying this. Yep, that's another one. Bad Clap put me on to that one. That's another movie. That one is very deep. Yep. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Yeah. That's another movie that talks about, tapping into different realities and different versions of self. And look at how in that movie, and I'm glad you brought that up because look at how in that movie that woman, she went back and tapped into different versions of herself. She learning kung fu and learning all of these different tricks and all these different, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of astral projection. That's the whole point of tapping into the Akashic records. You know what I mean? Like understanding that, you're there to pull certain things from that. You're there to pull certain things from there, you know, that could possibly save your life in certain situations. That could definitely save your life in certain situations. You know what I mean? So definitely. Yep. Yep. Past life. Yep. We need to be tapping into that right now. We need to be tapping into that. We need to be tapping into that, going into those past lives. Because that's where the information is at. That's where the information is at right now. Oh yeah, it's gonna be spooky as hell. Yeah. Yep, that's what the information. That's what that ancient knowledge is. That ancient knowledge and that ancient wisdom is at. You know what I mean? Like we really need to tap into that. Another way to tap into the Akashic records too, right? Because think about this. Akashic means, coming from the word Akasha or Akasa. Who did Aaliyah play before she passed? Who did Aaliyah play in the movie before she passed away? None other than Akasha. Yep. Yeah, you can definitely tap into the Akashic record through tarot as well. Definitely. Definitely tapping it. You definitely getting to that point of, going deep within, because think about it. What led you to those cards? What led you to tarot? It was your inner child. Like the Akashic records is almost like a playground to our inner children. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely you can tap into the Akashic records through tarot as well. But right now, like one practice that I will give, and again, this is something that Band Clap talks about. Y'all go rock with him. You know what I mean? He talks about this as well, right? The Akashic records can be tapped through listening to Aaliyah. Yep. Yeah, definitely tarot. You're definitely on the right showstopper. You definitely on the right path with that one. Definitely. Definitely on the right path with that one. So yeah, listening to Aaliyah, especially her self-titled album, Aaliyah, listening to that album over and over while you going to sleep, while while you're going to sleep, while you're in the shower, while you're clean, whatever case may be, while you smoking, whatever case may be, like listening to her music, listening to Aaliyah's music, you can tap into the Akashic records. Like it was something about her energy, something about that divine that divine feminine energy that really taps you into that. You know what I mean? While you're meditating, while during meditation, listening to Aaliyah's music, again, that self-titled album, Aaliyah, powerful. Powerful because she was quite literally Akasha. She was literally Akasha. Like she was literally Akasha. You know? Akashic records means astral light. She was quite literally Akasha. Yep, listening to Aaliyah's music, and watching that movie Queen of the Damned, and looking at her essence. The movie was trash. The movie was boring before she got on screen. Let's be honest. Like it was a bunch of pale white people. You know what I'm saying? Pale white people biting people's necks. Like it was weird. It got weird. But then it's like when she got on screen, it was a completely different energy. It was a completely different vibe. It's like something shifted once she got on screen. Like the movie took an entirely different, like it took on an entirely different reality. You know, when you look at that, movie, it takes on an entirely different reality. You know what I mean? I say it's I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Words can't explain how grateful I am. I appreciate that. I say. I say. So definitely check out that movie and listen to her music, because she tapped into that energy. Like, there's a reason why, I hate to say it, but there's a reason why they had to get somebody like her, had to get somebody like her off the planet. There's a reason why, they had to get somebody like her off the planet, off the, off this earthly realm. Because she was tapping into something that during that time we needed. We needed that energy. We needed that energy right then. So right now we should definitely be tapping into her music right now. Like, excuse me. Definitely should be tapping into her music right now. Again, all of what I'm giving y'all right now, like all of what we're talking about right now, like, this is your protection. This is the work that we should be doing. This is the work that you should be doing. Meditation, tapping into this music, tapping into this divinity, Left Eye was powerful as well, right? Yep. A lot of these celebrities were helping us power up. Another one too, right? And I was thinking about this, because I've been listening to classical music a lot lately. I love music, as y'all can tell. I love music, right? And I'm actually gonna learn how to play classical music real soon. I'm actually gonna learn how to play classical music. I'm calling it right here. I'm manifesting it right here, right? So classical music, Beethoven, Mozart. There's a guy by the name of Joseph Bologna Chevalier. He was a mixed black and I think he was black. He was black, Caribbean, and I believe his father was like from Guadalupe or something like that. Amazing violinist, amazing, but genius violin. This dude was a virtuoso. Dude was a virtuoso on, when it comes to violin, when it comes to classical music. In a time to where, they wouldn't allow allow us to be, to be in that arena, in that space of conducting music, whether they know it or not. This is something that they don't want us to tap into either, right? This is something else that they hidden from us, right? That they have hidden from us. A lot of those composers were black. Beethoven was black. A lot of those composers that were behind people like Mozart and all of these different opera composers, they were black men, Moorish. They were Moorish. They talked about this in Hidden Colors. You look at Prince. There's a reason, and Prince is one of my favorite artists. To this day, Prince, I've been idolizing Prince since I was 2 years old, and I'm not ashamed of saying it. Why do you think Prince in Purple Rain was dressing like one of those composers? Because a lot of those composers were black. They were Moorish. They were Moors. I'm talking about, like, very powerful music. Very powerful music. Very powerful music. The frequencies in that music, like, I'm going to sleep to this music. Beethoven, Moon Sonata, powerful. Like it's like I'm literally seeing colors. I'm seeing waves. I'm seeing all these different things that's activating me on a subconscious level, on a subconscious frequency. Because again, they didn't have all of the technology to mask those frequencies. The frequencies were at their rawest form, in their rawest form. Definitely. So tapping into that, tapping into music. Like, music is such a powerful way to tap into the Akashic records right now. It's such a powerful way to tap into that. such a powerful way to tap into the Akashic records and tap into those past lives. You know, your different forms of yourself in different realities. You know what I mean? Like, and of course, you know, listening to actual binaural beats and frequencies and, you know, solfeggio frequencies, you know, 963 hertz and, you know, 639 hertz, you know, things of that nature. Those are powerful as well. But right now, I believe, this is just what I believe, tapping into Aaliyah's music, classical music. There's another one too, right? Another person who was tapping into the Akashic records, and this is the reason why they brought out the movie One Love, and this is the reason why they had him killed when he was here, right? Bob Marley. Bob Marley, Bob Marley is the true Messiah. Bob Marley is the true Messiah. Bob Marley was tapping into to such a higher consciousness, you know what I mean? Like during his time, during his day, they had to take him out. They had to. There was a reason why they had to take his energy out. He's another one. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, being in a space to where you're listening to his music. But one album that I'll tell you where he was actually tapping into this, which was his last album, was Exodus. Exodus. They literally speak about, in the book of Exodus, they literally talk about the Akashic records. They literally talk about the Akashic records. In the book Exodus, they talk about the Akashic records. And what did he come out with? And did you all know that that album was actually inspired by a movie score, which was operatic. Christ consciousness, exactly. Christ consciousness, right? He was the true Messiah, ushering in that energy and bringing people awareness up about the Christ consciousness, raising their vibration. Because again, during that time, music was in the 70s. People like Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley, they were Prince, they were even Michael. All of that music was being recorded within 432 hertz. 432 hertz. All of that music was being recorded within 432 hertz and raising the frequency. So listen to mark my words, just listening to that energy, listening to that album, it'll put you in a completely different paradigm. So I would suggest on that day, on the day of the eclipse, listen to Exodus. Listen to Exodus by Bob Marley. Listen to Aaliyah. Listen to classical music. Listen to all of that. I've given you 3 options. You don't like classical music? You don't like reggae music? You got Aaliyah. You don't like R&B? You got classical music. You got reggae. Those are 3 energies. Those are 3 energies to where we can tap into that. So we can tap into that. Christ consciousness. I'm telling you, yeah. Tapping into that energy of, you know, he spoke about Marcus Garvey. He spoke about, you know, Haile Selassie. You know, those were their guys. He was the true Messiah. And I'm gonna tell you something else too. Did you all know that there was a connection between the Hindu, you know, in India and also the reggae culture? Those two are connected. They have a divine connection. Why do you see those yogis? They got locks. Those yogis got locks. They call them jata. Tapping into that energy. It's a reason why you see those old yogis, you know, they have those locks. Look at Shiva. He has locks. They all smoke ganja. They all smoke, you know what I'm saying? They all smoke ganja. Powerful connection. Powerful connection. You know what I mean? There was so many, there was so many, you know, Hindus coming from their home country, and migrating to Jamaica, tapping into that culture, and it was a beautiful marriage that nobody really knows about. And I'm surprised that I even just came across this information. A powerful connection, powerful connection. Same belief systems, walking the same paths. You look at a lot of those Hindu guys and those Hindu goddesses, they got beautiful locks, tapping into powerful energy, tapping into some powerful energy, you know? And this is why, you know, this is why they have to, on during the eclipse, supposedly CERN is going to be firing up the hydrogen collider again. So for whatever reason, they're going to be restarting that up. You know, remember back in 2022, they spoke about that, but I believe that they've been, you know, cutting that thing on and off. You know what I mean, for a reason. That's Shiva. That's Shiva doing his dance, bringing about that chaos, bringing about that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you another culture that talks about the eclipse as well. The Navajo Indians. The Navajo Indians believe that they call it the death of the moon, if I'm not mistaken, or the death of the sun, right? And this is something that I spoke about as well. Again, death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. I'm telling you, like, it's gonna be a chaotic energy, it's gonna be a purge, but it's gonna be a powerful energy. It's gonna be a powerful shift. So from today to Monday to Tuesday, think about what you want to bring into this new shift. What do you want to bring? What do you want to bring into your new reality? What do you want to bring into your new reality? Think about what you want to bring into your new reality. I know me personally, I want to bring in more love. I want to bring in more divinity. More abundance. More prosperity. Spiritual growth. Like, what do you want to bring into your new reality? You know? Because a lot of us are about to tap into something that, like, I'm talking clairvoyance, it's going to be at an all-time high. And it's going to go beyond doing readings. Like, you know, we're going to be in a space to where, like, man, think about, I've been on an X-Men binge lately, right? This is so random, and I know Spirit want me to talk about this. I've been on an X-Men binge. We are the X-Men. We are the X-Men. You know what I mean? Gambit, Rogue, Storm. You know what I mean? Like, those are aspects of Oya, Oshun, Shango. You know what I mean? Like our powers, our spiritual gifts and these spiritual powers are going to be at an all-time high during this eclipse. After this eclipse, at an all-time high, and I feel it within myself already. You know, for whatever reason, I'm a Virgo, Cancer moon, so I feel things before anybody. You know what I mean? It's going to be at an all-time high this year after this eclipse. At an all-time high. So yeah, I definitely wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about that. You know, just kind of, you know, have a conversation with you guys. And, you know, I'm probably finna get off of here in a little bit. You know what I mean? Definitely wanted to tap in, though. Definitely wanted to tap in. And as always, I'm always grateful, you know, to be able to tap in with you guys and be able to have this conversation. I'm beyond grateful for all of my supporters, all of you guys who watch my channel, who watch my content, and who support my content, who have gotten readings from me. You know, all of those things. I'm so grateful. Words can't explain how grateful I am. Ashe 333. Ashe. So yeah, like I said, they definitely, they definitely creating this fear monger to kind of like guide us away and get us away from this energy. You know what I mean? You know, tapping into who we really are. I know that I'm Shango. I know that I'm Shiva. Just like I know a lot of you, you know that you're Oshun. You know that you're Kali Ma, Oya. You know, these energies, they walk with us for a reason. Same with the Loa. Same with the Loa. Belon Samdi walks with me every day. Peace, peace. Y'all come on in. I know that these energies walk with us every second. You can see it. You can see it. And that's another thing too. Like, I feel like what they're trying to turn a lot of these energies into, a lot of these deities and a lot of these entities into in the media, within these movies and TV shows, whatever the case may be, you see these representations of Shango, of Oya, of Oshun, of Kali Ma, of Shakti, whatever the case may be, Lakshmi, and they're trying to turn them into something demonic. They're trying to turn they're trying to turn, a lot of our divination practices into something demonic. They have a movie by the name of Tarot. They got a movie by the name of Tarot. Like, it's supposed to be like some kind of like demonic possession going on, some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's real crazy. It's real crazy. It's real crazy. Like what they're trying to turn a lot of this stuff into, it's like it's ridiculous. Right. You really do have to like transmute it. Like, you really do have to transmute that energy. Yeah, you have to really you have to look at that, because I want to watch it. Just like with the movie Insidious. Just like with the movie Insidious. And I don't even watch horror films like that. You know what I mean? But it was something about that movie that I knew I needed to transmute. I knew I needed to watch that movie and say, you know what? I was literally just talking about this. Like, everything that happened in that movie, I'm doing on a constant day-to-day basis. Even when you're daydreaming. Yep, even when you're daydreaming, you're tapping into something. Yeah, they make it look dark for a reason. They make it look dark for a reason. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, y'all. I definitely appreciate y'all being on here. Y'all can watch the playback. I'm gonna put it up. You know what I mean? It was definitely a pleasure talking with you guys and speaking with y'all. Love always.